How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to SeaBed. I'm being eaten alive by mosquitoes. Don't know why or how. We had a heat wave, maybe. That's what happened. But they all just suddenly came back, and they were everywhere outside tonight. And I opened my window, and apparently my screen has a little tiny crack in it, because apparently they're in here. They got me in the face really good, and they're getting my legs. So if I move around a lot today and itch a lot, it's going to be... Excuse me. I'm a mess today. If I'm doing all that, like, that's why. I also have a cold still, as you can tell, so hooray! It's gonna be a great recording session. Anyway, where were we? Last time, we're getting more and more confirmations that things are not what they seem to be with anybody. But we've been following Takako, which is like, I don't know, if I have a favorite character, it's Takako. I think she's hilarious and interesting, and I love doing her voice. It's really fun. So yeah, we've been following her around, which has been really good. And last time she was wrestling with the concept of whether or not she should try and contact Takako. Because in this one, she got sick and they broke up. So, assumingly that she's still alive. But that's the thing, like, what's real? I don't even know. So, hopefully we'll be able to find that out. Also, quick, just updates. I started a Discord. If you didn't see the announcement on Wednesday, I finished Steins Gate. I'm going to be moving on to something else on Wednesday, so look up for that. It's Crystalline by the people who made Ace Academy by Pixel Fade. Fantastic. Ace Academy is one of my favorite visual novels, especially because it has mechanics. Like, I'm messing with my hair. Visual novels, one of the things that makes them so fascinating is not just the ability for them to tell a story in such simple ways of being able to have just a picture and characters, but my favorite thing is what visual novels can do independent of other storytelling mediums. So, when it came to things like Steins Gate, it's secret endings with different choices, and some subtle, some obvious, determining what type of ending you get. I like the idea of having multiple endings to the same story beyond, like, you know, like the 3-color system of the Mass Effect game. You know, like, you actually get to have, like, different routes, and, like, the different routes often will have completely different writing styles, especially in Mug Love Extra. Like, I couldn't believe how different the endings were from each other. I thought they'd all be hit the same notes and then have, like, a slightly different CG at the very end, but no, they can take some very different branching paths. Like, that kind of thing. And Ace Academy had one of my favorite ones, which is where, like, if there was a decision that needed to be made that was in like an intensity or like a timed moment, it actually had a time limit for like you would make your choice, or would just like not make a choice. Like, you would just kind of be like, whatever, I'll just let whatever happen kind of idea. I love that. It was such a cool mechanic, and I really hope we have more visual novels that can be like that, because I like the idea of having to make the decision kind of on the fly and then accept the consequences of said decision. Anyway, so yeah, check that out Wednesdays if you can. Of course, my always advice is, and I'll go over this at the beginning of it, is that, like, if it's one you haven't played before, watch the first few episodes, see if it's something you like. If you like it, buy the game, then share the experience with me. I don't know, just do what you want, but definitely one I highly recommend. Anyway, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, and one last thing. So I got my Discord. I'll put that in the description of all my videos from here on out. And if you're going to be around on Saturday, I'm planning on doing Jackbox, which is going to be, we're going to do a birthday celebration for me, or I'm just going to play a game where we can all kind of get on our phones and participate, either be an active participant in the game, or a part of the audience, which in some of the games, the audience is actually a participating player. They're just a conglomerate of people rather than just a single individual. I should have some of my friends from high school joining me, and some friends I've made since then, so it should be really fun. So if you can make it on Saturday evening around 10:30 Eastern time, I'd love to have you. Anyway, let's get back to it. All right. Is there anything else? Oh yeah. So we had interesting comments last time. Lots of things coming up. One of the things that really caught me off guard was the description of a nurse being somebody who was taking care of Takako and Sachiko when they were really little. Tandrasi said, I'm not positive, but maybe the whole nurse at the school thing might be some sort of childcare attached to a clinic/hospital. Just a guess, I don't know. We had a little bit of discussion. We had a little bit of a discussion after that, where you pointed out that a lot of, in Japan, like colleges and universities often will have hospitals and daycare centers attached to them, which is something we also have in the US, so like it could be a correlation of that. And then Jake pointed out later, saying that it could just be a regional thing, but also that a nurse is just another name of someone who takes care of pre-kindergarten age children. And then I realized something. oftentimes those places are called, it's not called preschools, they're called nurseries. Nursery. So that makes sense now. They call them a nurse because they're working in a nursery. Which, I don't know, like I wonder, I'd love to know, maybe I'll look up the phonetics of that, like the origins of the word, of like why they would use that, but regardless, I think it's, I thank you guys for having a good discussion about it. I want to appreciate it. So, blah, blah, blah. Oh man, these intros are getting longer every time I do them. I'm sorry. There's a lot going on lately. I mean, it's an exciting time. And it's an exciting time to be alive. An exciting time to be doing YouTube. And my channel, like, some people saying YouTube's going crazy right now. And it's kind of true. But at the same time, I'm doing my thing. And so far, nothing bad's happened. So, let's press forward and enjoy ourselves. Alright, and now here's the girl who seems to be in both worlds for some reason. I met Kozua's eyes as I was about to pick up the stool in the lobby. What are you doing? She asked. Nothing. What about you? Same here. Kozua had my hairpin in her hair. Ah, did you come to show off the hairpin? Oh, it's a clover. Look at the little clover. Kozua raised her eyebrows in surprise. Why would you even think that? Oh, anyway, you came at the perfect time. If you're not too busy, can you help me out a little? Kozua's gaze traveled to the grandfather clock. I heaved the stool on my shoulder and gestured for her to come closer. It won't take long. I ascended the spiral staircase. Is she gonna actually come? Kozua followed me in silence. I stopped in the middle of the stairs, placed the stool below one of the lights, kicking off my slippers, and climbed on it. Oh my gosh, that sounds terrifyingly dangerous. Could you hold it for me? Kozua placed her hands on the stool to steady it. I reached out to the lamp and seized the light bulb. I screwed it out of its socket and put it in my pocket, then moved the other side light bulb out of from my mouth to my hand and screwed that one into the socket instead. Wait, she took a light bulb and put it in her mouth. That seems a little dangerous. Getting a little moisture around there, but at the same time, climbing a ladder and carrying something, fairly difficult. You're like an electrician. Actually, I got the qualifications for this kind of work back in school. I'm the real deal. Really? I can fix most anything when it comes to home electronic systems. Is that true? Interesting. My lights keep randomly turning off. You mean the lights in your room? Yes. I'll give it a look once I'm finished with this one. Thank you. I stepped down from the stool and carried it to the next light. Do they teach that kind of stuff in school in Japan? Like, still? Because that's freaking awesome. We never had classes that were that useful. I mean, granted, I'm trying to think, we had like shop classes and stuff, maybe they would have covered it. I mean, when it comes to changing light bulbs, unless they're like fluorescent lights, it's pretty straightforward. But if she said she received training to handle that kind of stuff, like, does she mean that she received training, like, basic, like, being able to, like, rewire electrical systems? Or is she just literally saying that she, like, took a home ec class where they learned how to turn on and how to fix light bulbs? Because those are two very different things. I'm imagining the former. Once again, Kozua helped steady it for me. I climbed back onto my stool and reached under the lampshade. Sitting on the tripod, I unscrewed the seal on the ceiling. I pulled back a bunch of wires and found the one with the damaged insulation. The door opened as Kozua returned with Miyuko. How's it going? Miyuko asked, looking up at me from below. Those wires don't seem to be in a very good condition. Rats might have gotten to them, or maybe it's just deterioration due to the salt in the air, but it'd probably be a good idea to call in a professional. I see. I returned the wires to their place and screwed the seal back on. Ooh, that does sound bad. Miyuko turned to Kozua. That's actually a fire hazard. Like, I could take that taken care of immediately. How long has it been since you moved into this room again? About half a year or so. I suppose it's the perfect time to change rooms then. Kozua nodded. Takako, I'll prepare a new room for Kozua. In the meantime, could you help her pack? Sure thing. Good, I'm glad they're getting her out of the room. Because definitely need some attention before a fire starts. If it's already, like, singeing the insulation, that's a terrible sign. that's like red alert status right there. Thank you very much. Anyway, just give me a few hours. Miyako left the room. Oh, sorry for the nose. Well then. I looked around the room with only a single bed and a lone shelf inside. A tripod stood in the middle, a few crumbles of plaster from the ceiling laying beside it. Kozo slid the glass partition of the shelf open and began taking up books. I folded up the tripod. I'll bring in cleaning tools so you can collect your stuff in one place for now. Oh, so you can collect your stuff in one place for now. Kozo had very few things, only a handful of books and some clothes. She put everything into a small cardboard box Miyako brought over, and carried it to the other room with her. Meanwhile, I cleaned the empty room and decided to move back into the night duty room after finishing. Before closing the door, I turned around once and gave the empty room a quick look. A space that had been Kozo's just moments before now had no trace of her left. It's kind of sad, huh? Quickly, you can just be poof, moving on. Reminds me of at college, I stayed at, like, not dorms. The dorms were, I don't know, I liked having a kitchen. So I went to the expense and went to a very cheap apartment. Oh, Sane, I haven't seen you in a while. But, so I stayed in there, and while we were, like, in our apartments, they had very, very strict cleaning rules. So at the end of the year or semester or whatever, we had to like deep clean the apartment. We had to move all of our stuff out. And I'm talking like hands and knees, scrubbing floors, toilets, tubs, everything. De-dusting, de-everything. And they would withhold our deposits if they weren't up to scratch. But here's the thing. We would clean that thing to, I mean, I'm sure your professionals could have done better. But for a bunch of college kids, we did a freaking good job. And we would spend like 4 hours cleaning that place, like 6 of us, cleaning a 3-bedroom apartment. And they never gave us our deposits back. At least I never got mine. And like, I'm frankly of the opinion that they just never intended to give them back to us anyway, and would set the bar of cleanliness so high as to like be more clean than the apartment would have been if it had never had anyone in it. And that's just me. I think a lot of people try and take advantage of the fact that college kids are either A, poor, or they get all their money from the government. It's like, either way, like, they just aren't going to handle their money very well, or like have any room to really complain a whole lot. It's just, I don't know. It's funny because my wife went to the same college, and she never had that experience. She almost always got her deposits back. If anything, they'd have like a little fine taken out of it. I never got mine. Never once. I should have collected like 5 and never did. I was very grateful when I finally moved out and like had my own place after that was off campus. Anyway, is this Sane talking or Takako? I'm gonna guess it's Takako. Where did you find it? Where did you find it? Sane raised her face from the book and gave me the case I held to look. Oh, wait. Maybe that's what she said. Okay. I brought it from Kazu's room. It was a transparent rectangular case filled with water, an old toy. Oh, yeah, the same toy, isn't it? It had colorful pictures of fish on it and a bunch of plastic red rings inside. It's the same toy. And on the bottom, there's a big plastic color. You can push the button to create water current and send the rings swirling around inside. I managed to get some on the coral. I pushed the button harder, wanting to get the ring that fell off to the side, but the strong current ended up sweeping the rings I'd already collected aside as well. Speaking of which room did Kozuo move to? I think it was the corner room at the 3rd floor of the western wing. I see. Sane stared at me with her fingers stuck in a closed book. Is that book good? Yes. I'm only halfway through, but I would like to, if you would like me to tell you about it? Okay, but would you like me to tell you about it? I read that all wrong. No need, just let me know when you're done. Okay. Sane nodded. Huh? You're hurt, Takako? She pointed at my elbow. Oh! What was that again? Sane took out a band-aid from the box of the closet by the bed. I don't think it was... I guess I brushed it against something. Oh, okay, so it must have been just something minor. How could you not notice something like that? Sane stopped in front of me, ripping the band-aid seal off. I move around and got hurt a lot, so my brain probably doesn't even register small things like this anymore. I raised my elbow in front of her, which prompted Sanae to put a band-aid on it. You could use some exercise yourself, Sanae. Sana. I guess that'd be like Sana. I've been saying it like purely phonetically, but I'm guessing it would probably actually be read Sanae. Like more kind of slurred together a little bit. Sanae. I agree, but it's not so easy when you're small and frail like me. Or big and frail like me. How about jogging? I get out of breath just climbing the stairs. If you want something effective and not too draining, then how about swimming? I don't know how to swim. Oh, that's something it blows my mind. I mean, I know I had to go to classes to learn how to swim, but I mean, my parents did it when I was so young. It just feels so second nature to me. So when I ever hear people who are like adults who say they can't swim, it blows my mind because it comes so naturally to me now. I need to make sure that my boys know how to swim. I need to do lessons like now. Seriously, the sea's a rock's throw away from here. People actually swim in there? Aww, honey, please, yes. Of course they do. Don't tell me you've never been to the sea before. What do you even do at the sea? Well, you can swim, play beach volleyball, look for seashells or crabs, build sandcastles, or even collect glass stones, stuff like that. Glass stones? Waves can sometimes make glass from sand, which results in translucent stones. Have you never seen any before? No. They come in different colors, too. I remember collecting a whole bag of them when I was little. If you hold them under the sun, they shine in various different colors. Sounds like it'd be very beautiful. Oh, it is. Back in my old place, I had them lined up along the seashells on the shoe cabinet. One of my relatives made a mosaic picture by sticking them to a canvas. I mean, not professionally or anything. It was more like part of a school project, I think. Either way, it was a scenery of colorful fish swimming in a beautiful blue ocean. Whenever I visit those relatives as a child, it'd be hanging above their shoe cabinet too. It was about this big too. I just showed my hands conveying the dimensions of the piece of A4 size paper. Wait, A4 size paper. That's not very big, right? I read recently. A4. Oh man. A4. Normally I would Google, but this, like, if I do that, this will all drop away, and it's really inconvenient. But it's so interesting because I've been playing Persona 5, and they recently asked a question about like paper size and the silver ratio versus the golden ratio, which I didn't even know was a thing. But yeah, like it's just really interesting to like so much about Japan. And like I just hear passively, like get so curious about it, even though stupid stuff like paper size. That sounds a bit like a stained glass window. Yeah, sort of. Honestly, I wanted to make something like that myself, but only just now remembered it. You've been fond of creating things all your life, haven't you? Yeah, I even joined a pottery club back in elementary school. What did you make there? I remember making a vase and an ashtray. Everyone makes an ashtray. I didn't have enough clay, so I made a vase that ended up too small to stick a flower in it. But I shaped it like a tulip instead, which turned out to look pretty nice, so I liked it. It was not me, but the teacher that made the final glazing, so I ended up brown. Makes me wonder if they just had no red dye at all. The ashtray was a present from my grandfather. I noticed that he didn't have one at home. Also, it was like a legitimate one. He used it for quite some time after that. I'd always made him happy to see him on the table when I went to visit. A pottery club sounds like fun. Man, that's the other thing too, like, from what I hear, smoking in public is still a very prevalent thing in Japan, which is so interesting because in every other aspect they're so clean about like, you know, no littering and garbage. They're so good about that. Just in general, like keeping like parks and stuff cleared and like neat and tidy. Like obviously it's not perfect, but like compared to like freaking places like if you compare Tokyo to New York City, apparently it's like night and day. So a comparison I hope to make someday, but still, like to have all that, but then to have like smoking be so prevalent, it's just an interesting difference to see in culture of like where the priorities ended up for some stuff. Granted, I think Japan's probably got it more together than we do in that regard, but at least we don't have as many people smoking as we used to. Anyway, it's nice to actually have something tangible along with all your efforts. Not terrible. Did you make anything else? I guess I made a bookmark, if that counts. You fill a little bucket with water and throw your watercolors in it. The colors mix in all sorts of patterns, so you get something cool looking if you let a piece of paper float and soak in it for a while. I have this insane itch on the front of my nose. I don't know what it is. It's driving me nuts. Oh, I remember doing that in the past. I also made a hand of paper mache. Or is that Takako? I also made a hand of paper mache. I remember doing that too. It's where you use some thick wires with a base skeleton coil, some string around that, and then add the paper mache, right? Yeah, that's right. We made masks, kites, and stamps from it. I remember doing paper mache like once in like first grade. It was nothing that intricate. It was mostly like, I think we were making piñatas with balloons. Where you would like take the strips of newspaper and just like put it on and make the paper mache, and then we painted it and then popped the balloon and put candy in it and everything. Like, it was fun. But that sounds like way cooler. Back in school, I made stamps in carving class. I really liked how mine came out. I made it have a flower pattern. No matter how often the teacher warned you, there's always someone who gets hurt in that class. It's a bad idea to place your hand in front of the blade. Better safe than sorry is what you have to keep in mind in that class. I have it. Who's talking? I think I mixed it up. I think it's Sanae's line here and here. So I think Takako said it's a bad idea to place your hand in front of the blade. Better safe than sorry is what you have to keep in mind in that class. I have yet to ever cut my finger, even with a kitchen knife. I showed her my hand. Although it's, gosh darn it, Takako. Isn't that just because you never cook? Hey, I do cook sometimes. I can even peel a potato with a knife. Then peel an apple for me next time. Sure thing. I took her on it. For a moment, Sanae's face looked like Miyoko's to me. Is something the matter? No. I was just wondering about my position in this house. Huh? Anyway, yeah, I made a lot of things. Now that I think about it, I made more stuff than I could ever remember. I wonder if children are still like that these days. To that me, no. You have to try really hard to get into those classes. And most of the time you can't. I wouldn't know. We can ask Kazuha about it later. For us, it might be a sweet memory, but for her, it's still school. I doubt she'll be able to consider it fun the way we do. Yeah, school ruins a lot of things. Some of my most boring classes made it feel like time had just stopped. Though we truly did touch upon a lot of subject things in school, didn't we? I mean, even if we're talking about art class, we made so many different things when we were there. But then life became far more monotone once you graduate. Not my life. Oh boy, have kids that throw monotone out the window, along with all the house stuff that you wish to keep safe. Yeah, I continue making things though. Now that you mention it, you worked as a designer, didn't you? Did you choose that career because you enjoyed crafting things ever since you were little? I guess that's partly that, but Sachiko enjoys that kind of work too. If we were going out of our way to start new jobs, I figured we might as well choose something we could do together. Sachiko's really good at painting. She doesn't get as many avant-garde ideas as me, but I could never compare to her in terms of raw technique. I see you love her very much. Yeah. Anyway, would you like to go look for glass stones sometimes? That sounds nice. We can decorate Kozo's room with them later. She has very few things. That's a good idea. That's very sweet, although I don't know if Kozo was going to really enjoy that all that much. I climbed all the way up to the third floor of the western wing, then continued down the corridor. Are we going to go see Kozo? Probably. I opened the door to the corner room. I'm coming in, Kozo! Kozo had yet to receive her room key from Miyako, meaning it couldn't have been locked. Hey, don't come in without permission. Don't be a buzzkill. I'm not joking around, okay? Kozo regarded me with a reproaching look. I shrugged and asked what she was doing. I could see a vast golden sky peeking through the window. Kozo had been stooping by the shelf next to it. Nothing. Did something happen? She began returning the tower of books she had by her feet to the shelf. Are you looking for something? The last thing she placed on the shelf before finally sliding the glass door shut was a sheep-shaped clay figure. I borrowed your toy rings and fish. That's it, if that's it. That's not what I'm looking for. There's nothing in her room besides the shelf and the back on her bed. Maybe you left it in the previous room. I'll go take a look. Can you tell me what the thing is exactly? Don't bother. It's nothing important. You don't need to be shy with me. It's something small enough to fit on your shelf, right? I left the room, not waiting for an answer. What if Kozoa can actually phase between the two different worlds? That'd be really interesting. It would also explain why she's so obsessed with like the structure and design of the building. Because that this is not not only is she like kind of consistently in both stories now, but objects around her seem to be sharing. Like remember like the little toy game, and I'm wondering if she's looking for the book that she left in Sachiko's room, the one about like the plant life around the area. That's a possibility. Of the birds, like it's the birds and plant life and all that. I vaguely heard her say that I didn't need to bother. I walked down the corridor, descended the spiral staircase, and emerged on the second floor. A large cloud was blocking the sun. The lights in the corridor lit up. That'd be so interesting if she is able. Like, what if she knows Sachiko and Takako? Kozo's old room wasn't locked yet. With one hand still on the doorknob, I flipped the light switch. I watched a few moments, but the room remained dark. Deciding to wait no longer, I stepped inside. Better flip that light switch down, you're gonna start a fire! As I let go of the doorknob, the door closed behind me. Uh-oh. I could no longer see a thing. I took out a flashlight I'd prepared. Nice. A circle of light pierced the dark, monochrome room, returning some color to the place. A bed with white sheets, an empty shelf with a glass door. The room hadn't changed since I left it at noon. I checked the floor, the ceiling, and finally the window, but found nothing. My light split as it hit the window, dissipating into the darkest forest beyond. Pointing the flashlight at the bed again, inspecting it from top to bottom. The room suddenly lit up as the flashlight let out a loud click. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Then the light disappeared completely. Dang it, lost the bulb. Well, wait! I shook the flashlight, but all it did was let out a weird buzzing sound. I clicked the button on the back of its shaft, removed the 3 batteries, changed them up, and returned them to their place. I pushed the light button again, and it still didn't work. Giving up, I slid the flashlight into my pocket and walked to the bed. I reached out to the silhouette I saw right before the light vanished. My hand grasped only empty air. Ooh, what was that? I instinctively drew my hand back and looked at it, but I could only see the darkness. It was as though the silhouette had completely vanished. The window, through which the moonlight had illuminated the room moments before, had disappeared as well. The room had completely lost its colors and even contours. I blinked and pressed my fingers against my eyelids. Upon opening my eyes again, I realized that nothing much had changed. Extending one hand to help me navigate, I made my way towards the wall. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. I shook my head and waved my hand around. The wall should have been within reach, but once again my hand grasped on the air. Oh my gosh, what's happening? I took another half step and stuck my leg forward. My toes suddenly touched something, making me stagger backwards. After steadying myself, I realized I could hear the wind. Cool, humid air caressed my cheeks. Wait. This wouldn't be the tunnel that led to the freaking mountain spring, would it? My ears rang as I gulped down the built-up saliva in my throat. For starters, I struck my right leg to examine the thing I'd touched earlier. Through my slippers, it felt like a rock. When I grew conscious of that fact, I realized my left foot was actually standing not on the floor, but on a similar rocky surface. I took a step forward, trying to feel the ground below me. As I did, it lit up in a dim, warped monochrome. Where are we? I strained my eyes to realize I'd been standing on volcanic rocks. What the fetch is going on? I raised my face and lowered my hand, spotting a small light in the distance. It flickered in the darkness, looking like it could disappear at any moment. A gust of wind passed through the cave with a low-pitched howl. With careful steps, I began walking towards the light. She is very composed, considering what's happening. As my eyes and ears began to grow accustomed to the area, I quickened my pace. I reached a puddle of water. As I raised my face, I saw something run by the light. Sachiko was sitting there with her back turned to me. Okay. Okay. Sachi was what I tried to utter, yet my throat was too dry for me to make a sound. I quickened my pace. I looked up at Sachiko again as I hurried through the uneven rocky ground. Her straight long hair sparkled in the dim light. I could make out two eyes peering at me from above her shoulders. What? They belonged to a small face I couldn't quite make out in the dark. Sachi. The small mouth moved as though uttering that word. Sachiko slowly turned around. The light flickered. No! She's right there! What the fetch is happening? Takako. I opened my eyes to the starlight sky. You'll catch a cold sleeping in here. Good morning. I turned towards the direction of the voice to see Mayuko sitting on the edge of the bed with one hand placed on my shoulder. I moved my arm and heard it brush against the white sheets. Mayuko? I think the batteries of this thing are dead. I took the flashlight out of my pocket and handed it to Mayuko. Really? Okay, what the heck? Mayuko turned the flashlight on in her hand, tried pushing the light button. The room lit up, making me reflexively close my eyes. Seems to be working fine. It didn't when I needed it. Maybe the batteries are almost empty and it's gotten unstable now. I'll change them later just in case. Yeah, do that, please. I raised my upper body so I'd be at the same height as her. Growing dizzier by the second, I looked at Mayuko and the night sky extending behind her. Ooh, okay. Mayuko stood up as though trying to escape my gaze. She turned around and closed the open window. Why were you sleeping in a place like this? I glanced at the door, noticing the bright corridor beyond it. Kozuo forgot something in here. I checked the room after you cleaned it. There was nothing here. I didn't find anything either. I turned and lowered my feet from the bed into my slippers. Are you going to Kozuo's room? I have to tell her I wasn't in the room. We left the room together. Mayuko closed the door and locked it with the key from her pocket. What? What was that? What? I climbed the staircase of the western wing to the third floor and continued down the corridor, careful not to let my slippers make a sound. I could see light coming from the gap in the corner room's door. I walked over to the door and swiftly opened it. I'm back, Kozuo! She was not happy. Kozuo raised her head from a book she was reading on her new bed and gave me an indignant glare. I think I'll start locking my room. Jeez, is that how you thank me for looking for your stuff? Kozuo's gaze wandered for a second, but soon returned to me. So, did you find anything? Don't tell me you've forgotten. I sat down in the chair by the bed. There was nothing in your old room, unfortunately. I see. Mayuko said she checked it, but didn't find anything either. You can forget about it then. Kozuo turned a page in her book. Wasn't it important, though? It's not something I can live without. It's not something I can't live without. How come it took you hours to check a single room? Were you worried about me? No. You might be saying that, but I bet you wanted to check up on me. You were just too embarrassed to actually do it, and then you were worried that we might end up walking past each other. How on earth could you arrive at that conclusion? I bet you get a PhD from just examining how your head works. I could be your assistant. Kozuo snorted and returned her gaze to the book. Whatever. This is getting dumb. Glancing out the window, I saw the mountains under the dark blue sky. The lights of the port town sparkled gently below them. The view is a lot better from the third floor. If you have no business here with me, I would appreciate it if you left. Jeez, cold much? Mayuko said dinner's gonna be ready soon, so I was wondering if you'd care to join us on the first floor. I see. She's so grumpy. Go ahead without me. I'll go call Sanae. Kozawa, who had been descending the spiral staircase in front of me, turned around and nodded. Takako. I heard a voice that was about to knock on Sanae's door on the second floor. I turned in its direction, spotting Sanae at the end of the corridor. Were you looking for me? I came to invite you to dinner. Oh, she came closer to me. Can I come dressed like this? Yeah. Okay then. Oh, sweet. Sanae and I descended the staircase to the lobby. Kozo was there playing with a planet model on the counter. I thought you'd already left. You never told me where to go. The dining room, like always. Okay. Sorry, I should have told you. It doesn't matter. Kozo regarded me with sleepy eyes. Follow me. I turned back to the corridor and continued to the east wing. As I started humming, Sanae asked what kind of song it was. It's something I heard a long time ago. Looking at Kozo just now reminded me of it. It has a nice melody. The stars, the moon, and the earth all go round and round. Don't know what that song's supposed to be. As I opened the door at the end of the west corridor, I found Mayuko placing plates from the service cart onto the table. Need help? I'm almost done anyway. So you better to just wait at your seat. In a room about twice the size of our bedrooms, there was a long table, 3 chairs, and 2 of its longer sides. The many windows in the wall opposite the corridor gave all who'd enter a wide view of the inner yard and a big camphor tree in the center. I lowered myself into the chair near the window. Miyako, after finishing laying out the plates, sat down next to me. Sanae and Kozo seated themselves in front of us. They don't look very happy. Let's dig in! With those words, we grabbed our chopsticks and began filling our plates. The dinner consisted of takikomi rice, chicken and mushroom satay, sea bass marinade. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Mionere, and a salad with white sauce. Do we have any pepper, Meiko? We do. She lifted off a small wooden jar from the service cart. What do you want me to put it on? The fish. But I've already seasoned that. It's okay. It becomes even better with more pepper. Aww. I tilted the pepper jar above my piece of sea bass marinade. Some pepper got in my nose. Uh-oh. Miyako was looking at me with a difficult expression. Come on! Pepper's a treasure to human civilization. Back in ancient times, it was worth its weight in gold. I'd use an entire bottle if I could. That costs 300 yen at the supermarket, though. I'm glad to have been born in the modern age. It's so true. Like, back in the day, just having salt, like, it was kind of necessary for procuring and, like, producing meats properly, especially to keep them from spoiling. And yet, you had to pay an arm and a leg for it. Can you imagine, like, basics like salt and pepper being, like, unavailable for most people? Food must have tasted horrible in the Middle Ages. The fragrant smell of the satay reminded me of how hungry I was. I gobbled down everything on my plate in a matter of seconds. Good grief. You eat fast, said Kozuha. I move around a lot, so I get hungry fast. You might get indigestion from wolfing down your food like that. I wonder. I eat fast too. I don't even eat like a ton, I just eat it quickly. I don't know why. It's okay, I always eat like this. I glanced at Miyako's plate and I saw how she still had a good chunk of her meal left. Is there more? Nope, that's all I had for today. Darn. We don't go outside as much now it's gotten cold, and it's easy to overeat during parties, so it's just the right amount to help us stay in shape. Are you saying I got fat? No. I need someone like this to prepare my meals in very small portions and keep me away from the food. That might be my only hope. This is for everyone's health. I don't care about my weight. I'd rather eat more. You can have that. You can have this if you want. No, no, no. Sanai pushed her rice bowl toward me. You sure? No. Takako's diet already contained too many carbohydrates. Growth hormone secretion decreases when you sleep and your blood sugar level is too high. You'll end up not feeling as rested as you should. Oh, if that's true, that's something actually to think about. Because I do tend to, like, it's kind of tradition to eat, like, meats and starches before you go to bed. But that could be exactly what could be keeping me up at night. That would honestly make sense. Really? Yes. You shouldn't eat any more today. She handed me a white cup with coffee. Because coffee helps you sleep much better. Yeah. I drew the cup to my lips and took a sip. The bitter taste extended across my tongue, eliminating the aftertaste from the other dishes. And noticed Kozo was staring at me with absent eyes. What? Or rather, her eyes seemed to be gazing at something behind me. I turned around to see my own face reflected in the glass, and then vaguely made out the camphor tree swaying in the darkened inner yard. Did you see something there? No. Did you remember my Christmas tree? Sanai, gulping down the Takako rice, raised her face as well. It was really beautiful. We should have taken a picture. We can do that next time. Let's have a group picture and hang up in the lobby. Now there's a good idea, said Miyako. That would be sweet. That'd be fun. I felt my throat dry and took another sip of coffee. Miyako elegantly picked up the last mushroom of her sauté with her chopsticks and put it in her mouth. Are you familiar with glass stones, Miyako? You mean those things you can find laying on the beach? Yeah! Sanai said she's never seen one. Sanai nodded as both our gaze fell on her. I suggested we all go to the beach when it gets warmer. To swim? That's nice too, but I'd first like to teach Sanai. I doubt she knows how to swim. Are you serious? Sanai said in a heavy tone. It's okay. I'm an expert at swimming. That's not what I meant. Sanai tilted her head down, making her hair hide her eyes from us. What do you think, Kazuha? I don't like swimming in the sea. Why? The water feels sticky and makes me sick. How about we go fishing then? No thanks. After diligently cleaning her plate, Kazuha placed her chopsticks on the table. Kazuha, would you prefer tea or coffee? Tea. Miyako took out a teacup from her service cart and filled it with tea and handed it to me. I took it from her hands and placed it in front of Kazuha. So what else can we do if neither swimming nor fishing works for you guys? Why do you want to go to the beach anyway? I just do. Miyako, what else is there to do at the beach? Well, you can build sand castles or play beach volleyball. I've never done it myself, though. She made a faint smile. Ah, I suppose you could always hold a barbecue. That sounds good. You catch all the fish on the spot. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Are we talking about fishing again? I could catch them with my bare hands if that's what you prefer. I menacingly grabbed the air with my right hand, pretending to be some kind of woodland predator. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Kazuha? Fireworks? Oh, that's good! We can do that while it grows dark. Let's buy a lot. Just know the rockets are too dangerous, so I'm not allowing those. Then what fireworks are okay? Fountains. Don't tell me we'll have to make do with sparklers. Anything that's sold in the store except the ones that leave pillars of flame. Oh, that would be Aw, that takes out a lot. Does that include parachute fireworks? Well, parachute fireworks are probably okay. What's that? Kazuha cocked her head to the side. It's the type of firework that has a parachute inside. After it explodes, the parachute comes gliding down. That's right. Running around trying to catch those things is the hallmark experience of the summer. Mikey. What's up, Mikey? Let's go to bed. Come on, let's go. I'll pick you up. Can I stand up first, though? Sorry, I got interrupted by a little one. Let's continue. Last time I did that, all my parachutes got swept into the sea and I couldn't retrieve them. I'm not going to repeat that same mistake again. Just be careful not to fall into the sea, okay? I won't do that. I'm not a kid anymore. You act plenty childish from where I stand, said Kozo remarked. Oh, coming from the child herself. Speaking of the sea, said Miyako almost at the same time. I heard this when I was buying groceries, but apparently a steamship is going around the world and will make a stop at our port sometime soon. Ooh, a steamship? Okay. You guys kind of made this point of pointing out how, like, I kept clinging to the fact that, like, it felt like Takako was, like, sometime in the past. And you guys are like, oh, no, it's nothing. A steamship? Is that just a mistranslation? Because then that seems like we're in the past. Ugh. Friggin' like early 1900s type of past at this point. Steamship? I don't think we've had steamships forever. A steamship? The grandpa from our usual cafe said it was a huge steamship. I didn't know people still use such ancient technology. Okay, darn it. I got a little upset and here he is right here, getting addressed. They do in the West, apparently. Traveling around the world, huh? I wish I could do that too. We could go have a look at it when it's here. Maybe we'll even get to hold those colored tapes. I'm not boarding it, said Kozo and Sanae, silently placing chopsticks on the table. That sounds cool, though, actually. Like, actual steamship. Also sounds horrifically dangerous, though. Didn't steam engines have issues of exploding if they weren't, like, have had issues? Sanae and Kozo returned to their rooms after dinner. Miyako, busy washing the dishes in the kitchen, spotted me as I brought over the leftover plates and proceeded to thank me. Where should I put them? Just put them in the sink. Okay. I placed them down with a low clang. Miyako picked up one of the plates and began brushing a bubbling sponge against it. She finished the 4 sets of plates in a couple minutes and placed them on the drying rack. Though she seemed to be only lightly washing the plates, I had yet to see a single spot on any one of them of the ones I ate from. There was something relieving about how she worked. Maybe I just got used to the sight. Need help? I'm almost done. It's already late, so you should go back to sleep. I see. I turned around before reaching the kitchen door and faced Miyako's back. What is it? Miyako asked without looking at me. I'll sleep in my own room tonight. Okay. Good night then. Good night. Interesting. I lay down on my futon and closed my eyes, but realized I wasn't sleepy. There was something bothering me. I don't know, your creepy vision of being in a cave and seeing Sachiko and somebody in her arms? I remembered how I saw Sachiko in Kozo's room. I wanted to meet her again. I didn't know what to do to achieve that. I turned on the desk lamp and picked up the notebook. There were only a few pages left now. Ooh. September 24, 1975. The rays of the sun filtered through the marmalade-colored western window of the kindergarten, elongating the shadows of the 3 of us inside. All the other children had already had their parents come pick them up. Meanwhile, we were still playing doctor. Interesting. So Sachiko and Takako and a doll. Takako was the doctor. Narasaki was the patient. The doll? And I just held a book that was supposed to be the medical record and stared at them. Hang on a second. What? Takako was investigating the conditions of Narasaki's belly. Does this stethoscope have a right and a wrong side? Takako turned to me. You're holding it correctly. I see. She took the stethoscope off and put it on the table. There was a whole lineup of toy medical tools on it. All to be used as part of the game. Takako looked over them for a second, and after a brief moment of hesitation, what is this? She picked up a spatula and used it to hold down the tongue. Ah, the nurse is looking. I turned around and saw the nurse looking this way. She picked up a plush bunny we left on the floor earlier and put it back into its box. Was she looking at us? Yes. You seem to be very untrustworthy, Doctor. I fear for your future patient if you ever actually become one. I think Narasaki's better at it than you, Takako. Okay, we can switch if you want. I put down the book that was supposed to be the medical record and took the stethoscope from Takako's hand. Then I lifted up Narasaki and placed her on my knees. Okay. So, where does it hurt? I voiced a question in a mature tone. Okay. So is Narasaki actually not real? Because this is making it look like she's not real. As in she was a doll that Sachiko pretended to be. Was I right about that? Was I actually right about that? Oh, because the picture's freaking me out, man. I ate a poisoned apple. Wait, is that what Taco said? I ate a poisoned apple. Just like in the story we read today. In that case, please show me your stomach. Okay. Takako pulled up her shirt, exposing her naked belly. I used Narasaki's hand to guide the stethoscope to it. Yep. Yep. Oh boy. This makes things interesting. Alright, turn around now. Takako did as ordered, phantoming a spinning chair. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with your lungs. Okay, let's have a look at your throat now. Takako spun her invisible chair again and opened her mouth. Open wide. Yeah, just like that. I pressed the spatula into Narasaki's hand and used it to push Takako's tongue out of the way. You're good at opening your mouth. I can see all the way to your tonsils. Didn't Sachiko have this exact same exchange with Dr. Narasaki too? That's only the same thing. I have no idea what you're saying though. What is real? What the heck is real? Beginning to feel sleepy, I closed the book. I placed the notebook by the pillow and collapsed onto the bed on my back. That day I had a dream of my past. A dream of a hot summer day. And we'll get to that next episode. Because my freaking brain's exploding. Narasaki isn't real. So chapter 6, a train heading far away. But if Narasaki's not real, then who the heck is talking to people? Because there was the scene with Sachiko taking a nap, where Narasaki talked to Lily, or was it Lily talking to Sachiko? But they make references to her. I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel really weird now. I don't really know what to, I can't even think of, like, I had concepts of, like, it possibly that she wasn't real. But, like, I kept finding things that disputed that. Like, people interacting with her independently, remembering who she was. I kind of had hints, because with Kozuha, like, she would, like, randomly talk to Sachiko. And it was Narasaki that really, like, kind of bridged the gap between the two of them. And so, like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this one. Oh, I'm gonna have to think about this one. That was quite a revelation right there. Especially because haven't we seen that flashback before from Sachiko's point of view? But it wasn't a doll, it was an actual person, right? Like, I'm pretty sure I remember that. Oh, man. And so what if Takako isn't dead either? Narasaki remembers her dying, but she's not real. We can't believe her. So what if Takako broke up with her because of, like, the amnesia she was suffering, right? And Sachiko couldn't handle, like, the breakup. And then she justified it in her mind of her being dead. But then she couldn't handle that. And so then she covered it up with hallucinations. And her dying was part of the hallucination. Because for some reason her dying was easier to deal with than her being not wanting her anymore. Oh man. Oh god, that's dark. I'm gonna need to think about this. Ooh. Anyway, hey. Well, there we go. There's something new. Fetch, man. Oh, I'm excited. I feel like we're finally going to start getting answers here. That's always exciting. That's always good to know. But anyway, thanks for being here today. Thank you so much for spending time with me as always. It's a pleasure having you. Remember, tomorrow we're doing a live stream. I'd love to have you guys join us in the game. It should be really fun. Like literally all you need is like either a computer or a cell phone, and just go to like we're going to be playing Jackbox games. They're really fun, so look for that. And yeah, I mean, look forward to future content of this. Like, it's pretty fun. It's just... It's so crazy. It's so crazy. This is, like, a thing. She wasn't real. She's never been real, has she? She never was real from the beginning. What the heck? Hey, I guess that's how it goes, right? Anyway, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for spending time with me on the channel. Make sure to check out the Discord channel too. That'll be in the description below. Absolutely come over there, hang out. I've got a chat room specially dedicated for SeaBed if you want to like ask me questions or bring up stuff about it. We also have a special server where you can discuss spoilers, the I Never Check, so you can talk about all the stuff with each other that you can't talk about with me. So absolutely invite you to come check that out. It'll also be a platform for me to do future community stuff. So like if you go down to that, you'll be up to date on all the cool stuff, and if you want to interact with me on more live streams, I'm going to be doing community podcasts here pretty soon. If you want to be involved in all that, just make sure to follow it and kind of keep an eye out for my announcements there. But yeah, thank you so much for being here today, and until the next video you watch with me, or whatever you see me in next, I'll see you there.